Hello, my name is Curtis Ellison, and in this video, I will be explaining how to create a Scrum task board. A Scrum task board is an essential part of the Agile process because it holds the list of tasks and subtasks the team must complete in order to finish the project. As such, the task board must be continually updated when a task is either started or finished. The Scrum task board is actually the focus of any Scrum meeting. Here, all of the tasks are listed in their appropriate columns. The tasks and subtasks are not assigned, but rather the team members volunteer for tasks to take on. And the Scrum task board is separated into four main sections: the user story section, the to-do section, the in-progress section, and the done section. The first of these sections, the user story section, contains short descriptions of the feature from the perspective of the intended user. These descriptions are usually formatted like, and I quote, "As a user, I want goal so that reason," or "so that I can reason," where the user describes the role of the person using this product. The goal is what they're using the product for, and the reason is why they're using the product. The other columns contain the subtasks that were split from the original task that the user story was made from. The first is the to-do column. The to-do column contains subtasks that haven't been started by the Agile team. They've been taken off the backlog, but they haven't been started yet. The in progress section contains subtasks that are currently being worked on by the Agile team. The team will be working on more than one of these tasks at a time in order to get things done quicker. The done section lists the tasks that have already been completely finished. After a while, these tasks tend to be removed from the board to save space, usually at the end of a sprint. Those four columns keep the task board simple. However, there can be optional columns, such as in testing, in which a task is almost finished, but the team has to test it first. Or there's blocked, which is another example, where the team doesn't have the resources to finish the task for whatever reason. Now, there are two mediums for a Scrum task board. There's either the digital medium, in which you use a program to create the task board like Trello or Jira. You will see an example of that on the next slide. Or there can be the physical task boards, in which you actively draw out the task board and then write each item like task or story onto sticky notes or index cards and put them in the appropriate spot. Here is an example of a task board I created in PowerPoint. It has the four columns: stories, to do, in progress, and done. To explain the subtasks in the latter three columns, you usually have to start with the story, because the story explains the bigger task that is later split into all these subtasks, and it explains why this task is here. For example, for story 1, the customer will want to provide user input and to customize their order. So the designers and developers have to create a website that lets customers customize, and the way they customize by providing their own input. As for story 2, the manager wants to see customer feedback so they can improve the service. And while they prepared a physical spot where customers can get feedback already, they secretly have a team making a website that will provide a suitable response system for all the feedback. This is the end of this introduction to Scrum task boards for Agile projects. Thank you for listening.